Hello everyone, my name is Zuzana and welcome to my Piano Promise channel dedicated to help you to learn how to play the piano. This course, Piano for Beginners, is just for you. This is my session number 3 and I'm going to talk about chords, such important and popular subjects in any type of music from classical to popular. In this session I'm going to cover topics such as what chord means. Then I'm going to talk about broken and blocked chords. Then I'm going to talk about triads and how we create triads. Then I'm going to talk about major and minor triads and how we can understand what's the difference between them when it comes to sound. And then I'm going to talk about how we can actually create these basic major and minor triads. So I'm going to teach you how to do it in a very fast way, and in the end I'm going to show you a really good exercise I like using with my students and everybody loves it. It's just very easy. You don't need to be able to read music and you just feel like you are playing chords straight away. So let's start. Are you ready? I hope you are, and please feel comfortable. Very important when you learn how to play the piano. So let's start with chord. So as I said, I'm going to tell you what chord means. Chord is basically playing 2, 3 or 4 notes at the same time, and I'm going to also demonstrate how it sounds. So I'm going to play very simple chord. I'm not going to tell you what the chord is called, but just listen to the sound, and I'm using 3 of my fingers. Could be in different register, and I can use different chords. I'm using now 4 notes. Could be completely different chord again. So all that is called chord. Okay, now I'm going to tell you what's the difference between broken and between block chords. So when we talk about a broken chord, it means that it's about the sound. It's exactly the same chord, but we played in the way that the notes are played one after each one. And so for example, this is the example of broken chord, okay? And I'm going to do the same chord, but I'm going to play it at the same time. And notice the sound is different. So we call it blocked chord because the sound is blocked. So this is basically it's very simple. That this is what we talk when we talk about broken and blocked chords. And now let's get to triads, because that's the really good way to understand about the chords, and that there are basic chords. So triad means playing 3 notes. And I'm going to now demonstrate for you how we can create these triads, because it's very important. So I'm going back to the piano and I'm going to start on C. Okay, so as I mentioned in my previous session, C is such an important note, especially middle C. That's why I like starting from middle C. So I'm playing C, and then I'm playing note E, and I'm playing note G. So I'm playing 3 notes, and that's called triad. It's a basic triad of C major. Now because I started on C, that's why it's called C major. So remember, every time if you start for example from G, then it means that you are going to play triad of G major, for example, if I play these notes. So how we create them? So we start on C, and then notice that I'm going to skip 1 note. So I'm playing the next note, which is E, and again from E I'm going to skip and I'm going to play G. Okay, and that's called, as I said, C major triad, and it's called C major because it's based on C major scales. So scales, that's another subject, and I'm going to dedicate this subject in another session. But just for you to understand, the simplest way is just to say, okay, I know it's C, then it's E, and it's G. Now, then we can do the same thing from different key. As I said, we can go from G. So it means, for example, if I'm playing G and I want to create a very simple triad, so I'm playing B and I'm playing then D. Okay, and when I want to play it as a blocked chord, that's how it sounds. So this is just very basic understanding of the chords. And now I'm going to talk about the sound of major and minor triads. So that's a very exciting part of learning about the chords. So it's about the mood. So when we play major chords or major triads, when we listen to them, the sound is happy and it's bright. For example, again, I'm going to back to C major, and I'm going to play it for you firstly very simply. Okay. So you can hear. If you listen to it more, you can hear that it's happy. So I can do it in a different way. Okay, so listen to it and think, yeah, it sounds happy. I hope that you agree. And now I'm going to do C minor chord, which sounds sad. It sounds more nostalgic, melancholic. So this is C minor, very simple way. C minor, play with both hands. And I'm going to do it as a broken chord. So when you listen to it, it sounds different. As I said, for me, it has more depth. So I'm going to actually play for you a few of these major and minor chords for you, and I'm just going to ask you to really listen carefully and decide if this chord is a major or if it's a minor chord. So let's start. So this is the first one, so I'm going to play it for you. So I'm going to decide for, it starts on A, but I'm not going to tell you if it's A major or if it's A minor. So it's the same. Okay, so listen to this. So does it sound to you happy or does it sound to you sad? And then it's the second one. Okay, so listen to it once more. First one and second one. So what do you think? Which one is major, which one is minor? So the answer is the first is major, it's A major, and the second is A minor. Now let's go to another chord. I'm going to decide for starting from F, very popular. So this is one. Again, think, is it happy? Does it sound happy or sad? And I'm going to do the second one. Now which one would you think it's happy and sad? So once the first one and the second one. Okay, so the answer is the first is F major, the second is F minor. Okay, so this is really just the basic information how you can recognize the chords. And even you don't know how to work with the chords and you don't know how to create them, it's all about the sound. As I promised in the beginning, I said I'm going to show you how to actually recognize if it's and how to make from major minor chords or vice versa. So before we go to this actual chord, I need to mention something important. And this is what we call flat and sharp in music. So I'm going to show you there are two sides. This is one, and that's called flat, and this one is called sharp. Okay, so what it means in music, when we have flat, we are making the sound or the note, we are basically making the sound lower. So we are going a half step lower, or we go semitone lower. So I'm going to now go to my piano and I'm going to show you how it works. So for example, if I have G, note G, okay, so if I want to go lower and play it as a what we call G flat, I will go to semitone, that's called semitone or half step lower. Okay, so that's a G flat, and you can hear the sound is lower. If I want to now go to sharp and create from G, G sharp, so again I'm back in my G note and I'm going to play the note which is on the right side. So you can hear the sound is changing, it's increasing, and it's a semitone higher or half step higher. And this is very important when we talk about the chords, when we talk about the triad and how we can make major or minor triad. So now this is very important. So I'm going back to the piano and I'm going to talk about C major and C minor triad. So let's get back to the keys. So this is C, back to E and G. So I created the C major chord, and now remember the most important thing in the chord and triad is to think about the middle note, because this middle note is going to change the character from major to minor chord. So if I have major and if I want to create a minor chord which needs to sound sad, so what it means, the middle note needs to be lower in half step. Okay, that's called E flat. So we go from that to C minor, and you can hear this is the difference. So even you would not understand and you don't know about the keys and key signatures, it's just, you know, listen to the sound and think, okay, is it happy or is it sad? And that's really the easy way to recognize the chord. So let's go to the next one so you can see how it works. So now I'm just going to use the 3 wide keys. So I'm going from D, then I'm playing F, and then I'm playing A. Okay, so now I have the triad of D, F, A. Now just listen to it. What do you think? Does it sound to you happy or does it sound to you sad? Well, the answer is sad. So then the answer would be this is D minor chord. Okay, so now how I'm going to make now major chord. So as I said before, if you want to increase the sound and make it happy, then we are going to use sharp. So F, the middle note, again it's about the middle note, needs to become F sharp. And here we are, we have D major chord. So this is how it works. So really, if, as I said, if you don't know anything, you just always need to think about the triad and making it as a each second note, and then middle note is the one which is going to make it major or minor. Okay, so this is about how you can work with major and minor triads. And now let's go to our exercise which I love using. So again, it's about this broken and block chords. So I'm going to show you what we are going to do in my previous sessions 2 and 1, and it'd be great if you can watch them. That would be very useful. So I always, my exercises for the beginners always go from mostly from C, from the note C to the next C. And I'm going to play note C, E and G. Remember, fingers always 1, 3 and 5. So I'm going playing C, E and G as a broken chord, and I go to D and I'm doing the same, and E, G, B and F, A, C and G, B, D and A, C, E, B, D, E and C, E, G. Okay, so I'm going to do once more. Notice I play very evenly, firmly, very important. Okay, now finished. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do reverse situations. I'm going to start from G and play using 5th finger, 3 and 1. So I'm going down and finish on C. Okay, so firstly we are doing with right hand, now left hand. So find C, which is octave lower, or it could be 2 octaves lower, in case it's easier for you. Sometimes I see when my students play, I'm like, see that playing lower, it's easier, more comfortable for hand. Especially think how we need to sit, think about the curved fingers, curved shape of your hand. So starting now from C, so we are going to use finger number 5, 3 and 1. So let's start C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So we are up, now we are going down. G, F, E, D. Try to keep fingers down, watch your fingers. Done. So do it a few times. You have to be comfortable with hands separately. When you are, start to play with both hands. Easier if you just go back to 1 octave between your hands. I'm starting on C, D, E, and I'm putting slight accent on the first note. Just make it more easier, more even and regular for me. E, and think about the first note, C, B, A, and G, and done. To do the same thing with blocked chords. So I'm going to start on C, so we are doing exactly the same by just playing all 3 notes at the same time. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B and C, and now we can go down F, and think about this note here because sometimes you can get lost. C, B, A and G. Done. We are going to left hand and down. Okay, when this is completed and you feel comfortable, we are going to play with both hands. And down. play it probably in medium speed. So in the beginning, remember what I always say, play slowly. Everything needs to be slow. Everything needs to be comfortable, even, firm. So it's about the quality of the sound as well, then about the shape of your fingers. So as I mentioned, make sure that your shape looks nice, the curved fingers are not sticking out, sometimes can happen. But anyway, so just watch that, listen to your sound, and when you feel comfortable, then you can get a little bit faster. So increase the speed, probably for me, comfortable and easy. Is that. So that's all. I hope that you liked my session about chords, and you found it useful. And if you would like to continue with me, please subscribe to my Piano Promise channel. Thank you.